Okay, this video is going to be a pretty short video. What I'm going to do in this video is I want to talk to you some about your midterm exam. Let me remind you of a few things first. Your midterm exam is going to be on Wednesday of next week. Now remember, your midterm exam, you must come to the school to take your midterm exam. It is given in this classroom. I'm located this is the Stringer Huff building, or it's the math building. You have to come to campus to take this test next Wednesday. The exam will begin promptly at 9 a.m. Couple of reminders. First, make sure that you arrive on campus early. I would get here about 8:15, no later than 8:30. One of the reasons is when you come on campus, you will have to have your temperature checked at one of the spots on campus at the nurses station. I think they're doing it in the over in the there's a couple of other buildings in the administration building. They're doing it there, but you can find out where on campus they're doing the testing your temperature. When you have your temperature tested, they will give you a little dot. You'll put on your ID, and you'll bring that with you to class. You cannot come in the classroom if you don't have that little sticker with you. So make sure that you go have your temperature checked. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to start the exam on time. So get here a little early to do that. Now remember a few things upon arriving. There's several things you need to remember to bring with you. Number one, bring a pencil. It amazes me a lot of times the number of students that show up and don't have anything to write with. You're going to need a pencil. So bring a pencil with you to class. Also, bring your calculator. I do not have extra calculators. So if you plan on using a calculator for the test, bring it with you. You will not be able to use a graphing calculator. A graphing calculator is the one that's got the great big graphing window screen. The reason for that is there's graphing on this test. And so if you bring a graphing calculator and that's all you have, you will have to take the test without a calculator. Just get you a regular scientific calculator. One that most students use is this one right here, but just got a real small screen on it. Just a plain Jane scientific calculator is what you'll need. So pencil, and calculator. Number 3, pencil and calculator, and then the sticker. Make sure that you bring your mask and you wear it into the building. You will not be able to take the test without a mask. And then the 5th thing is a photo ID. You must have a photo ID, preferably your student ID. But I need a photo ID of you, basically because I've never met you, just indicating you are who you are on my roll, and you've got an ID with a picture of it so that I can check that as well. So the midterm exam will be on Wednesday of next week. Now, on Tuesday of next week at 9 o'clock, I have made that day a question and answer day. If you would like to come and ask questions, you're free to come on that day. Now, that day is not mandatory. I will probably be sending an email out asking if any of you are coming, just simply because if no one's coming, I don't want to drive to campus. And so I don't mind doing it. I will be telling you, hey, let me know, notify me if you're coming on Tuesday. But please notify me before Tuesday morning. Do it Monday night or something like that. But you do not have to come on Tuesday. But if you want to come, I will be here to answer any questions that you have. So Tuesday is an optional day. But Wednesday, you must come on that day, and please be on time to take your midterm exam. Now remember, your midterm exam and your final exam counts for 60% of your grade. So remember, just because you're making all 100s on homework doesn't mean you have a 100 average. You don't know what your average is until you take your first midterm grade. Remember I told you, I said, if you make straight 100s on all the homework and you make 40s on your test, you're not going to pass class. You have to have all 100s on your homework, and you have to make at least above 50s on your test to even pass the class. So the midterm and the final is a huge chunk of your grade. So it is great that you're keeping up with your homework. It is great that you're making 100s on your homework. But the bulk of your grade comes from that midterm and final. That's why I told you it's very important that you watch all your videos, you take notes off of your videos, and that you're doing your work yourself, because of the amount of weight that those two proctored tests will carry. Okay, now what I'm going to do first in this video is I'm going to give you just a blank copy of the intermediate review for the midterm. In other words, I haven't worked it out or anything like that. And what it will do is it will give you an opportunity to write it all down first. And then you can practice it ahead of me. And then in the next video will be where I will actually go through and work all of the problems out. But I would suggest that you write them on a blank paper. And what I really would suggest is once you write this on a blank paper, make about 2 or 3 copies of it before you watch me work it out. And the reason is try to work it out and see how you do by yourself. And then if you need to watch me work it out, I'll work every one of them out for you. But what you need to make sure you do before you come in here on Wednesday is you need to see if you can go all the way through this practice test without looking at anything, no notes, nothing, and see if you can go all the way through it and see how well you do. When you get to where you can go all the way through it without looking at anything, and you're getting through most of the problems, then you're ready for the test. But a lot of students, when they prepare for the test, they've got all of their notes out when they're working these problems. Before you take the test, take this practice test one time where you don't look at anything, where you just take the blank test and you work it out yourself, and then you grade yourself. That's why I would suggest that you make 2 or 3 copies of it before you actually watch the video where I actually work the problems. So I'm going to have to slide the paper around here. So we'll start right here. Okay. You can see a A and a B problem. Let me just slide it across first where you can write the A problem. Okay, pause the video now and copy A. Okay, I'm going to slide it over. Now pause the video and copy B. Okay, now a little bit lower. Pause the video and copy C. Now, pause the video and copy D. I'm going to slide it over for E. And then pause the video and copy E. Okay. Next one, pause the video and copy A. Now B. Now C. Let me make sure C you can, let's see, the third, yeah. Okay, all right, pause the video and copy that one. Okay, Roman numeral number 3. Let's see if you can see all of that. Yes, you can. Pause the video, copy that. 2 more, there's a C and a D to that. Let's see if you can see this. Yeah. Pause the video and copy this and this. Okay, and then let's see if I got all of it on here. Yes. Okay, pause the video and copy these. Yes, pause the video and copy these. Then copy this one right here. Okay. I think you can get all of that. Let's see, answer, yeah. Okay, pause the video and copy all of this, and then I'll slide it over a little bit. Okay, and then this point over here is -3, 1. If you couldn't copy that in the previous. Okay. And copy that. Pause the video. And then the last two. Pause the video now. Okay, so you may have to pause it and back the video up a little bit, but you should now have the entire midterm review on paper. And so what I will do in the next video is, or actually I'll probably start here in just a few minutes, no, I'll probably just wait and start another video, is where I'll just begin working the problems now that's on the review with all the explanation that goes with it. And so, but remember, when I go through this, I'm not teaching this as if you've never seen this. I'm assuming that you've watched every single video. Now, your midterm in here covers, give me just a second, let me check. Misspeak here. Okay. The sections that we have covered, we've covered section 1.3 and 1.4. I will not ask you anything specifically out of 1.3 or 1.4 on the midterm. And the reason is, if you remember, 1.3 and 1.4 was just adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. It was really just kind of warm up to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because if you can't add, subtract, multiply, and divide the positive and negative numbers, you're not going to be able to solve the equations. So your test really starts, as far as problems, if you'll look at the first problem, it really starts with 2.1. So your test covers 2.1, 2.2, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, and then 3.1, 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5. So your test covers all the way down to section 3.5 in your homework. That's what your midterm covers. And then the chapter 5 stuff will be the stuff that will be where your final exam material will begin. So those are your sections. Now also, when you come to take your midterm, make sure that all of the homework, all the way up through section 3.5, everything that you're going to be testing on Wednesday, make sure you are completely finished with all that homework. Because more than likely, after you take your midterm, I will probably close out all of that homework. And the reason is because you should already be finished with that anyway. So you probably will not be able to work on any of that old homework all the way from 1.3 to section 3.5. You probably won't be able to get back into any of those old homeworks. So make sure you complete all of your homework that your midterm exam is going to cover prior to coming to class on Wednesday of next week. Remember, it is mandatory that you come, so be sure that you're here for that. Tuesday will be simply a Q&A day. Now, I'll probably send you another email or two out in the in the process before then. So do check your emails every day, just looking for something. Also, remember, I sent you. You have my email address, of course, but you also have my cell number. So please feel free. That's probably like this weekend, I'm probably going to be out of town. I will have my computer, but I always keep my phone with me. So that is the best and quickest way to reach me in the event that you need something. So I've sent you an email with my cell phone number attached to it. So if you need me for anything, please feel free to do that. All right, we'll stop here, and I'm probably just going ahead and send this video. I may not quite get to working these videos today. It may be another day or two before I get to actually working these videos. But I promise you by Monday, because Tuesday is the day that I set aside for you to review for this test. By Monday night, I will send you this review where it is completely worked out.